I'm Dan.
I'm Fredrick Sells Fredrick.
And this is Between Two Boxes. Hey guys, Dan here, Moyer and Sons. Got Fredrick here. Don't worry.
That's right.
Fredrick Sells Fredrick.
Are we even in Fredrick right now? Are we even in Maryland? I don't know.
We are in Maryland.
Where you took me.
We like to go on location sometimes. This time, it wasn't inside the Moyer warehouse. We are at Dickerson, Maryland, at Markoff's Haunted Forest, one of the nation's premier and leading haunted attractions.
This place is scary.
It's scary.
He showed it to me in the middle of the day.
It's
daylight. Sunny out.
And still,
I don't know.
and it's Halloween time.
Yes, it is.
What better to do than come here, do this, at one of the scariest places around?
Are these real bones?
No.
Maybe.
Some of them are absolutely real. We're on a farm.
The human skull is the real one.
They paid money. So it's all good. So that's why we're here. Kind of the idea, I think, is we're going to talk about scary stories from the real estate world that kind of affected both of us over the last few years. And
real estate is scary.
I bought my first house in 2010, right after the whole world had crashed. The houses that were available were interesting. The first one I looked at was in Ballinger Creek.
Oh, yeah.
Area.
I grew up in the Ballinger Creek area.
Farmbrook,
what up?
I can't do a B. But in the house, I walk in, and it's got this wonderful skylight. Apparently, water had damaged the roof, and they left the house. They just walked away.
So it wasn't a skylight?
It was just a big hole in the roof that had led to a hole in the top floor, which led to a hole in the main floor. So you could see.
So you have a whole house skylight.
Oh, it was beautiful. And of course, you're like, they put any offers in, we'll take the best offer. Also, as is, that's what you want to take on.
That's the house you bought?
No.
I was going to say there was no other house that didn't have a hole all the way through.
It took a while. So that's my first kind of scary moment. You're walking in going, how interesting real estate can be.
And your real estate agent was like, this is a steal, Dan.
Thank God she got it like I did. But at that time, I'm walking through and I was like, all the pictures that were there, because this is my first time attempting this, new to it, all the pictures. There's no hole. All the pictures look beautiful. You walk in and literally it's just in the center of the house. And you're like, oh, this isn't a good idea. So, but I still toured it because at this point in time, if I don't fall in, why not?
You didn't just walk in and walk right back out like, nope, this is a no.
No, you gotta.
Those are the best clients, ones that know it the second they walk in, and they just say we're out. So okay.
But I looked at my real estate agent and I looked at her and I said, want to keep looking? To her credit, like we had that conversation. She was like, yeah, let's see how bad this is. Let's ride this pony for a second. And that was really cool. That was like, so I got to see the whole thing. I'm just like, She's like, never. But there's a little lake in the bottom of the house.
Oh, yeah. It said close to water.
Close to water. They didn't realize it was in the house.
On the description.
Yeah. God, that was fun. That was a good time.
Well, let me tell you, my first transaction ever as a real estate agent, you got to cut your teeth somewhere. And my mentor told me after this that it was probably going to be the worst deal I ever have in my entire career. So I'm like, oh, great. What a way to start my real estate career is with this guy. We were looking at houses up in Hagerstown, in like $70,000 range that he just wanted to buy cash. He wanted to get out from where he was living. He had some investments that he could tap into to get the cash out of. I'm like, okay, great.
It's already sounding perfect.
Yeah, so we put our offer in. He puts 50% down because that's what he had from his investment already.
Nice.
So he's like, okay, I'm just going to put $35,000 down, then I'll bring the other $35,000 to closing. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Well, it started getting a little weird when we did the inspection. He couldn't show up for the inspection, so I was there for her. And he was like, hey, can I pay you to pay the inspector? I expect he's going to hand me a check.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, let's just meet at this 7-Eleven. It's halfway between us. So we go to the 7-Eleven. All of a sudden, he's like going in, and he's like, how much is it? And let's just say it's $500. He's like, okay. He goes in, hands me $100 cash. Then he goes back in, and he gets like a Western Union check. hands me like $300 from that. Then goes back in, hands me like another $100 cash. And I'm like, okay, this is a really weird way to pay for an inspection. I called the inspector. I'm like, are you going to be okay with this? He's like, yeah, that's fine. Hey, money's money.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then a week before closing, he says he's going to wire the funds, the remaining funds to the title company. Title company can't get a hold of him. I start calling him. I can't get a hold of him. Then the next day I call him again. Now his phone is disconnected.
We still have 35,000 of your dollars.
I have no way to get a hold of him at this point. A week before closing. It's also Thanksgiving week.
Oh, no.
So banks and credit unions and stuff aren't necessarily... We're closing the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So if we don't get it, like, we're in trouble for a week after this. Luckily, somehow, Monday night before closing, he calls me with a new phone number, and he's like, oh yeah, sorry, my phone, I ran out of minutes on that one. I guess it was a burner or something.
I ran out of minutes.
Yeah, so I had to get a new phone.
Who dis?
Luckily, it all somehow closed.
Oh my God.
I mean, my first transaction ever, I'm like sweating bullets that my buyer just completely up and vanished.
Yeah. Like,
poof. Ghost, gone.
Tell me that's not scary.
Oh.
I don't ever want to do this again, guys. I don't ever want to do this again. So again, in 2010, I'm looking at houses in Fredrick, and there's one. It was close to Adamstown, and it's a old house, but it's what the pictures don't show you is that it was on the railroad tracks. I would say adjacent, but to the point where I think if you stuck your hand out the window, you could touch a train.
Touch. You just say, hey, Amazon, just throw it through the window.
I'll leave a chute open for you. And again, if you go to Adamstown, you're right through Adamstown.
Mm-hmm. I know what you're talking
about. There's a brown house right there. It's so close. Of course, pictures don't show that. We go into the house and look. The family's still there. They didn't leave the house for the walkthrough. as I'm doing the open house, they didn't leave. We're opening doors. There's people asleep. It's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Open the doors, people asleep.
So people got a nap.
It was such a weird experience. And then just as that happens, I don't know how they live like this. The train goes by, and and like we're shaking, and there's a person sleeping in a bed, and they're. I was like, I'm probably not going to put an offer on this house.
I was going to say, let me tell you, I have a couple investors that I work with. There's not always pictures. There's not always a description. You don't really know what you're walking into sometimes. And one time we were up in Hagerstown, and the agent told me beforehand, knock on the door. The tenants will be there. We're starting to go through. And, he doesn't mention about anybody else being there. He's just like, hey, come on in, guys. Super nice guy. Let me show you around. Here's the kitchen. Here's the living room. Then we go upstairs, and then all of a sudden, we go to open up one of the doors. It's locked. Okay, I'm like, Can we go in there? He's like, I don't know what's going on in there. Well, we find out what's going on in there.
I don't know what's going on in my own home.
A couple seconds later, a woman with no top on comes out, tells us to get the F out of her home, slams the door on us, and he looks at us and goes, oh, it's just my roommate. Don't worry about her. Okay. So, sometimes you don't know what you're getting into, and it can be a little scary.
Don't worry about it, guys. Also, you get to keep the stove.
Yes. Washer, dryer, woman, all come with the house.
We're in the woods here. Again, even though it's daylight, things pop out.
We're in a cornfield.
And we are in the middle of a cornfield. Markoff's has got 2 different attractions here and a Midway. Midway is a cool area you can eat, drink, have a great time. Then you have the town, which is where we are at.
Let me tell you, this town, it's impressive. It looks like an old Western town where everybody died from the Black Plague and stayed. Did not leave.
That's actually like most of the story we have here. That's actually kind of almost it. And then in that you have also a trail. The trail's been around for 31 years. The town's been around
That's
for
older than me.
Yeah. Think about that.
Did you buy that?
No one bought that. But thinking about that, like how cool that is, and there's one more weekend left coming up before Halloween night, and again, it's one of the most amazing. There's a couple hundred acres here.
If you like to be scared, this is the place you got to come.
You need to come here. MarkosHauntedForest.com. Just saying.
And also, other than scaring, there's also like a party that goes on here, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Food, booze. like, is there music or
there's a DJ booth in the middle with lights going
I
off.
saw videos, man. This
Fire,
place
we throw
looks
fire,
awesome.
like you name it. It's awesome. It's
You
a great
throw
time.
fire.
And you know what the coolest part is that it's actually all a nonprofit for Kaleva Outdoors, which helps children go to camp and also leadership programs. So
That's awesome.
you're doing good for the community by having a great time.
By getting scared.
The 6th, coming up on Thursday, we actually have a Frightless attraction where we open up the trail and the midway for families to come through. So you can actually come through, enjoy the scenes, take pictures, and be a part of it without something jumping out at you. So we are trying to be
very
more
cool.
family friendly and giving people what they want. And I'm bringing my my 1-year-old and my 5-year-old.
Is that during the day?
No, it's a starts at 5
Still
and
at
ends at
night.
9. So, but you want to see it at night
Yes.
too. So it's really cool. Here at the Haunted Forest, specifically the town, you got to see the most scariest part of the town.
Oh, this is a beautiful face, right? Should this face be enshrined on stained glass in a church somewhere? No. Well, it is here.
It is absolutely here. And underneath it says hope.
Oh, well, we can only hope that the stained glass gets better and better every year. He walked in and said, so how long have you been doing this? And right there is his face in stained glass. And he said, well, that should give you your answer. That's all you need to know.
Deep in the world of scaring here in October. We got the bones, we got Markovs, we're having a great time. We've talked about the scary stories of kind of the real estate world from the past. When Halloween ends on the 31st, you open up a whole new chapter in the world coming November. We're preparing for the holidays, having a great time.
Love the holidays.
I love the holidays. Again, if you're looking to buy a house, instead of a Lexus, you want to put a bow on it, call
It's
Fredrick.
way more fun to put a big red bow on a house instead
Absolutely.
of a Lexus.
We're not even going to talk about the
Now that
dynamics
that's
of that.
a flex.
That's a flex. If you want to be the coolest person on your block, buy a house for Christmas.
I'll buy the red bow.
But what are you up to come November 1st?
All right, so we got some big movements happening here. You, my friend, you're not leaving us from the community service committee. You'll still be around, but he is no longer going to be the chair. You're going to be a director on the FCAR board.
That's correct. Yeah,
Pretty
strategic
awesome
partner
stuff.
director.
There you go. See, that's a mouthful. I couldn't get that out. So, in the void that you are leaving, we are filling it now with two wonderful people.
Amazing people.
Lori, love you, girl. So, Lori Reeder and myself, Fredrick Gano, are going to step in as chair and vice chair, hoping that we can get that committee as an action-based committee. You know, really work hard next year into getting back out into the community and having our faces seen, our names heard, boots on the ground, just really getting our hands dirty and helping out the community. So we're really looking forward to that. Yep. Hands dirty, baby.
Now, before I go, though, I still have a couple weeks left as the chair of the community service committee.
We haven't kicked him out quite.
Not quite yet. They they can't get rid of me yet. Not until November 30th. But right after Halloween ends, on November 9th, we're having the amazing charity auction. The silent charity auction has been going on for many years.
So
at
much
Dutch's
fun.
Daughter. So much fun, so much greatness there. If you have an opportunity, please get tickets now. They do sell out. I think we only have seats for about 135 to 150 people. Lots of sponsors already have seats. So get your tickets now.
It's a great party. Great party.
Great party.
Great cause.
We always end up in the dungeon at Dutch's. So much fun. But to add to it, if you can attend, that'd be awesome. If you can attend and you want to add something to it to the auction, we would love that. If you can attend, but still would like to submit something for the auction, please reach out to FCAR. Let us know. We're still looking. The more, the merrier. So the auction proceeds will end up going to?
I Believe in Me this year. So all of the auction proceeds help benefit our FCARE fund, which we use to benefit other nonprofits in the community. And this year, we have chose I Believe in Me to be the main benefactor from the charity auction.
So take a minute. Get scared. Halloween's a week away. Don't forget to help us out with the charity auction with the Community Service Committee with FCAR.
See you there.
See you there.
Boxes! Boxes!
Too wild and crazy.
You on
guys.
fire!
Fredrick is scary as hell. Watch out. But he's a real good realtor.